Excuse me. Hey, sweet Brenda, good morning, and I want to wish you a happy Sunday. I just seen your video because I'm gonna lay off YouTube for a couple of days, Brenda. I just need to clear my head and think about some stuff and not be rash about certain decisions I have to make, Brenda. But I do from the bottom of my heart, sweet friend, I hope you're having a great morning. Or whenever you do hear this, I hope that you're just having a great day and feel very good. So, Brenda, I went over here. And because see, now that I increased my dose on my clonazepam, I think I can, like with everything else, kind of like fight off the suicide trolling without it letting it affect my mental state, Brenda. So let me go over here to your video so I can calmly and methodically uh, tell you what you're lying about suicide troll. So, and do you like big bushes? That much I need to know. Okay, let's put this. Oh, I can't take that. The girls that have that voice, that like whiny baby. It's like fingernails on a. Okay. And if you were doing that, Brenda B, so was Bridget. So either you teamed up there just to suicide troll me with everyone else, or y'all have made up during this whole ordeal. So when you fuck with someone's head like that, Brenda, I just don't take any of it at any kind of. I just don't put it in the process. But let me here. I won't even do it. So I'll give you 15 minutes of my life. Let's. I do want to. That helps too. I do want to give her a thumbs up because I want to be uplifting and positive towards Brenda here, and that's what I'm going to do. It's a kind of magic. Okay, let me see, because you have to look for these people, they're very cowardly. They want to commit crimes, no responsibility. The fugitive, she's like, bye, Georgia. That's what y'all are, in all seriousness. You did it because you thought you'd get away with it, Brenda. But That's too much, true. Wait. Anyway, no, I ain't gonna do it. Okay, wait. Okay, well, I just think I just don't even gonna do it. If you guys want to feel happy in the morning, you should go watch Queen Nessie. I've never seen that person. Okay. That's supposed to be God Loves Me? I don't think it is. But I'm sure she doesn't look far off from that. Oh, and then we got fucking Ryan. And then we got Ryan. Let me tell you something too, Brenda, before I go on any further. I sat here at Boyd basically 24/7 for 7 years on YouTube. And for 98% of that time, I listened and I observed. I have learned so much about just the tones, the slight little bit of increase in the highness of their voice when they're not being honest. It was like a 7 year course. A 7 year course, Brenda. Like I can just hear it in people's voices when they're starting. I could literally work for the FBI, Brenda. I'm like, my accuracy is probably better than a lie detector, to be honest. And that's what got me thinking the other day when you're like, oh, Whitty, don't talk to negs and trying to throw, because I could just hear it in your voice, Brenda. But anyway, let's go on. Again? How come you're bothering me, Ryan? Because I remember what you did. I remember you and Brian Case that you just showed there, you know? You probably were watching on I'm telling you, Brian K knew things that were only in my room. And if someone put on that very, very old Samsung, it was like an S7 back in 2022, and it was probably like a 2015, who the hell knows? I could have probably hacked it if I invested the time. That one there, I do believe, because things were said that only could have been seen in my room, Brenda. Only. No other way. There's not that many coincidences in the world, yada, yada, yada. But that affected me at the time, Brenda, and it really fucked with my head. But now that I'm better and I'm starting to heal, and the rest of this process is going to help me feel the rest of the way, because the whole truth's going to be out, Brenda.
But let me tell you, when you're that low, and that doesn't say anything about me. I haven't done anything to try to see you in your personal space, Brenda, or Bridget, or anyone. I remember the things about you going like, Stewie's like, oh, because he was leading up to why he would only send his ding dong pics with underwear on, and then you were over there saying, oh yeah, his ex girlfriend had sent, and you know, Brenda, it all pieced together finally. It all pieced together finally. So, I mean, you tried to kill me over a guy or your friend or whatever it tends to be. I just, something just doesn't sit right with me, Brenda, but let's go on.
Enough. 6 years.
Oh, that's what I was like. That says everything about y'all, that you would have that kind of invasiveness towards me. Do you understand? So I shouldn't have to feel bad about what was done to me, Brenda. That's where I was confused for a long time. Because, Mom, if you have somebody for over a decade when you're saying, you're a piece of shit, you're worthless, you're this, you're that, that's my mom. I believe what she says. So I must be a piece of shit. I must be worthless. I must be a loser. Everybody must hate me because she said it and she's my mom and she loves me. You understand, Brenda? I was beat down for a very, very long time. Every single problem Mom had in the world, she took it out on me. No matter how much I did for her, how good, it was never enough because it wasn't about that, Brenda. And it took this happening to me to open my eyes and see things on a whole different level. That's why I finally had a showdown with Mom. She would push my buttons, Brenda, push, 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 until I would go berserk. You see on the one body cam footage, if you get it, or if you have already, I'm in the hallway. I'm like, look, officer, she had worked me up like y'all do into so much of a frenzy. And then she'd call 911, and she was the calm one. She was normal until the second time, and she was just a little bit too drunk and she couldn't keep it together, Brenda. That's what my mom did to me. On the very, very first time the police come out here during the pandemic, she did the same thing to me. She worked me up in so much of a frenzy and would antagonize me and say, you F word, you this, you that, you're just like your dad, this and this, and beat me down and get me so much in a frenzy. And I would throw something or break something. 911, look, he's acting, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. Brenda, I was raised by her. So none of you narcissists here, none of you crazy people are a challenge. That's what I grew up with.
Oh, or 5 or 4, or however long it's been now. 1,092 days, is it, Ryan? 1,000 and something days, right?
When did I go back? When did I ever bother you, Brenda? I never had any interaction with you, really, ever. Let me make sure this is still going. What is that at 102? Because I'm not going to sit here and go through this again because I really have to take a break because my mother's life depends on it, Brenda. And it went off. Psst. Is it even there? Have I even been talking this whole? You gotta be kidding me. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, it ain't starting back. I thought it was starting. It's buffering. Okay, Brenda. So let me go back here, so I can get this over with. Okay, how do I put that one? Go back to there. Go back over here. Go back to there. Go back to there. Let's go over and listen to what Brenda's gonna suicide troll me about now. And I did go over there to Twitter, Brenda, and I saw like Beth had blocked me because she'd already been stalking me, I guess, over there. And like about he still didn't answer. I answered the question. The case closed. There's something wrong with that woman. There's something wrong with her. And I don't need that in my life. I've already had invasive stalkers in my life, and I don't need Beth in my life. That's creepy. That's creepy. So there's that. I've explained that situation. People can believe it. They don't have to believe it. That's how it went down.
Good morning. None of that helps too much, Trolla.
I'll get to the.
Feel happy in the think it is, but I'm sure she doesn't look far up again. Oh, 1,092 days, is it, Ryan? 1,000 and something days, right? Hey, Brenda, also known as Corey. So basically, it's Corey, also known as Brenda, around here. Okay? So basically the opposite of everything you're trying to make me believe, correct? I remember you over there in the circus in the side chat. No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Because you made it a point in the side chat, and if the stream's probably up, I could go find it, Brenda, to make sure that Tara knew that I was talking about you and not the Corey, so fuck it. I remember. You were in on it since then, Brenda B.
I fucking hate both of those people. I hated the dude, I can't even remember his name. Was it Mike? I think he's another Mike. When he was with the last broad. And like, these people are fucking Canadian. It's embarrassing. And I cannot stand Tara. I absolutely fucking hate Tara with every fucking being.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I really don't care because that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It doesn't matter. Everybody can team up and get together, and I know how this place works. My mind just wasn't right then, Brenda, but it's right now. It's right now. And what was done to me was wrong. Beth didn't answer any questions over there. Why did she read any nothing? She just kept repeating the same question that was already answered. That's someone that's trying to just gas someone up and antagonize them when they know they're in the wrong. Beth is Beth, and I'm very correct about my uh, interpretations of things regarding her and the way she's conducted herself in these communities these years. When she wants to tell me with her voice over there what the deal is, then fine. Until then, she is a non factor in my life. Just like I went 4 months without looking at Lindy's page, and my life was better for it. Same with Mara. And the same with Beth. People are not going to abuse me anymore. I've been abused a very long time, Brenda. And I'm not going to let some woman that I don't even know in a state far, far away from me think she has the right to read my mom's emails or my emails or anything private that she can't find on a public search engine.
In me. Because she's one of those idiots with the cancer thing, right? Yeah. Now, again, I have wished cancer on people who rob from babies and all their children, but I digress.
I'm man enough, Corey, if I wish cancer on someone or if I wish someone death, when that happens to me, I can take it back. I put it out there. I put it out there. I'm not gonna read your emails, Brenda. If you say, "Oh, I'm glad your mom got cancer," I'm not gonna like see what's on your phone. I'm gonna say, "Fuck you, Brenda." If I don't want to deal with it, I push you away. Click off. Bye. I'm not gonna, come to your home or hack you or anything, Brenda, because you say something about my mom. Because I know my boundaries, which you don't, because you participated in this.
She just said that randomly to whoever for whatever fucking spiteful, ignorant fucking reason, right? Oh, and a long time ago, I also wished it on Pam because she did that whole, "Are you dead yet, Rosie? Are you dead yet?" You remember that part?
I remember the Rosie stuff at LCDs.
Anyway, Pam's not here. Let's continue on.
Let me tell you, Brenda, too, I'll say this before we go on. I don't want sympathy for anybody about that. You know why? Because if you fell over dead tomorrow from cancer, Brenda, I wouldn't wish it on you, but I sure ain't gonna sit here and shed a tear over you. Or pretend that I cared that you're dead. Like what G Man goes, why am I gonna? That's what all you people do. You're so fake to get 200 views on a video that you put up that little memorial video and you never speak of that person again. Never, unless they come up in some drama that you want to talk about that serves your purposes. Other than that, it's another chat. It's, come on. Y'all people are insane.
You were involved in this very deeply, Brenda. Did you help Beth Roche do that to me with the ship?
I remember you over there with Beth Roche fighting. Oh, Beth said, this crazy person. It makes sense now. It makes sense now, Corey. It makes sense now.
Wait, Brenda, I just want you to be honest.
And in regards to Mike from the circus and the site, I still haven't even looked up that name to verify if it's him, because that's how little I care. I always go off on all these tangents and side roads and get distracted by this shiny thing and that shiny thing. I'm not doing that this time.
Real Savage Live Media. How stupid are you?
Because I did that on purpose, Brenda. That's why. Duh. You gotta put this joint out.
Right here.
I was making a point.
I can't find your page. Are you in Kat's DMs?
Is she gonna answer?
Again, I was until I told Isaac a little something about Kit Kat Kathy, and then I immediately deleted my whole Twitter account and lost Mary in the process.
Oh, really?
Which really pisses me off. But I think it was that Twitter account. Yes, I was in Kat's DMs.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all. Anything after that, don't care. I just needed that. It's connecting the dots, Brenda. That's what I've been. I could have been a good investigator back in the day if I wouldn't have fried my brain with 27 overdoses, Brenda. My brain went without oxygen many times for way too long. So I'm not as sharp as I used to be, but I try.
Somewhere in there, I hadn't even had Twitter for 2 years. Um, and I might have been in Kat's DMs like years and years ago as well.
Okay, that's all. I just need the connection. It's not about what's in them or what they say. It's connecting the dots, Brenda.
With me all the time. We talked about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just never got around to doing it.
And after December of 2021, you never heard from your friend Linda, since she's friends with Deborah Orr, which is Corey So Fuggett's best friend there. They're all so tightly connected. So you're telling me you never, Mary never, nobody ever heard when I went in Holly Undead's channel, and I think that was pre 4-6, Alex, was it? So I was being suicide trolled then, before, and then you made me feel bad for exposing your little butt at 4-6 when you were trolling me before 4-6 to drive me cuckoo to go to 4-6. It's insanity. It's literally insanity. I'm surprised I come out of it this unscathed. And I haven't come out unscathed. I think about it every waking minute. It's 3:50 in the morning, and what am I doing? Thinking about it. What was I doing before this so much till I couldn't fight the urge to sit here and just go through this? Because it's all that's ever on my mind, Brenda. It was wrong. And most of it was perpetrated on lies. I need Corey Briggs to tell me what I did to her. Beth's still over there asking the question that I answered 3 times over.
Did you try to help unalive me with Boyd? No, I'm doing that now.
Okay. No, you did it before. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a Canadian predator. You're a Canadian predator, a suicide troll. I'm not going to call the CBI on you, Brenda, but I want you to know that I know what happened to me, and I think you're a bad person because I wouldn't do that to you. You say, oh, these years, what did I do to you? Defend Alex? Believe Alex? What? What did I do to you to deserve to be trolled in that malicious of a way with such malicious intent, Brenda?
Ryan. Because you tried to do it to me. And now is like a really good time for me to do
Yeah, but I
you.
even remember Brenda. Anyway, I don't believe I did anything to you that could hurt you so severely that you would not want me to be alive, Brenda. That's all. That's all. If me exposing your friend, your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your future boyfriend, Alex, I don't know and I don't care. Anyway, let me not. I need to go take a nap.
I have like timing things. Sometimes I'll put shit off for years. I'm a long troll. You guys don't even know. Okay? Just tell the truth. Beth has been after me for 5 years over 4 public Facebook pics. She can't tell me what I did to her and her friends other than dox. You went after her crackhead kid, which is really funny.
I went after her crackhead kid. How did I go after a crackhead adult child after they went after Thomas's minor children? Ryan 1, Brenda 0. You're not going to win on that point, Brenda. I fought with Lindy against them and everyone else. It doesn't even, everybody picks their side, not on facts, but on who they like. Just like I said, when the ship endorsed and backed up every one of Mama Beth's lies, and they knew they were lies, just like with Shannon lying about all that stuff, they back it up. So it's not about, it's about who likes who. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. That's why everybody did the Lindy thing. It's fun. That was the fun side. That's where the chat was. Corey is over there. It's just they picked who they liked better, who entertained them more, who they liked. You know what I mean? People pick sides, and it had nothing to do with facts. Look, Corey had all the facts laid out, everything from start to finish about Lindy. No one cared. No one cared because they liked that. They liked her more than Corey for whatever reason. So Brenda, I know the game, girl.
that she thinks it's hilarious that Stewie called me a crackhead for 6 years when I got kicked in the head and almost murdered by a crackhead.
And I've heard that story so many times. Well, I'm sorry. Get over it. I'm supposed to get over this, right? Get the fuck over it. I've heard you talking that story for damn 7, 8 years or however long. Get over it, Brenda. When you gonna get over it? When you gonna get over it? I'm supposed to get over this. I'm supposed to move on. It's not that serious, Ryan. Get over it. You deserved it. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? But you're still going on all these years about that same old shit, right?
I asked really nicely to not be called that, and you guys just double down and double down and double down and double down.
Well, take it up with your little dude, your little boyfriend, your little ex-boyfriend. I didn't know he was a piece of shit. I thought he was a good guy. Maybe he is a good guy to you. I don't know. I don't know, Brenda. I know what happened to me, and I know people make light of me, and it is kind of funny in a certain way. But at the time, it wasn't funny. In retrospect, yeah, some of it's funny, some of it. But at the time, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I was very unwell and unmedicated, and I was attached to him for whatever reason, Brenda, and it was not cool. None of it was cool.
You went after her cracked out kid. Total junkie fucking.
Yeah, after the Corey thing and after John Thompson, but Beth Roche had been over there and he's making fake Facebook pictures of Thomas. I mean, Facebook accounts. Yeah, Beth went from all those real lifer people. And what did I do? I found her beautiful daughter's Facebook picture and I made an account on it. I sure did. And I trolled her over there under the Boyd Investigator. Sure did. I absolutely did. And I'm not sorry for it. And I would do it again because it was in retaliation. It was in retaliation. Most of that shit that Lindy did and we did was did we push kind of hard? Were we kind of mean? Did we lean into it? Did we kind of bully and threaten? Absolutely. But on principle, most of the time, we were right about stuff.
Her kid that Beth Roche has. That's what you did, Ryan. You went after her cracked out kid, her crackhead kid. It was every day about her crackhead kid.
And her daughter, her adult daughter, had a criminal record, and Beth Roche had a criminal record, and she ran around here and side chat for side chat, going, Jeannie Lynn, the Ledford, the felon, the fugitive, this and that, and the other thing, her full legal name, calling her everything, like she was vicious to that, like she was to Dave, because she got butt hurt because she lived the same kind of lifestyle that Corey does. And Lindy was didn't have kind words for that kind of lifestyle. She was very above that, kind of like me. LOL.
Crackhead kid, crackhead kid, crackhead kid, crackhead kid.
Oh my God.
And at the same time, you were calling me fucking all sorts of lovely things as well.
What did I parroted back what Alex said about you. I picked Alex's side over yours. You weren't a Mexican with a cute voice, Brenda. Sorry. I went for the cute voice. I went for the voice that just gave me butterflies, Brenda, and yours just didn't do that.
You're so jealous. Because if Stewie did have his pick of all the women around here, he would choose me over any one of them.
And you know what? That's pretty sad that some woman that's 50 years old minimum is over here doing whatever she's doing with some 33, 35-year-old young man in another country. What's wrong with the men in your country, Brenda? What's wrong with them? Usually people that have online relationships like that, kind of like Lindy and Jim, they would never be able to live together in a home. They'd never be able to have a life together. They could only be together on the internet because in real life it wouldn't work out because of their personalities. And you, as a 50-year-old woman, must have some kind of deficit or some kind of problem with yourself that no man in Canada wants anything to do with you in real life, that you have to acquire a young one on the internet.
Including whoever the fuck he's with now. And we all know that to be a fact. Right?
I know I was a pathetic, sad bitch doing that. I look back now and see that was the lowest, most pathetic time of my life.
Ryan? Yeah. But I hate the creep. Okay.
Well, you know what? I don't care if you do, you don't. But I ain't too happy with him. But you know what? I don't care about nothing else. I feel good. And at the end of the day, look how it turned out for me, because I can say it every fucking day. I never disrespected that young man's parents, daughters, anything during 8 months of suicide trolling Brenda. unmedicated, drunk, pilled out, being trolled, and I still never did it. No one on this planet that I've ever interacted with in any kind of argument can say that.
All I did to her and her friends, other than docs, when they were all multiple times real lifers and a fugitive felon, is at the center, shaking my head. Yeah, you went after a bunch of people who didn't like Lindy for no good reason.
I went after a bunch of people that didn't like Lindy. Absolutely. Like when that one lady, I forget her name. I just can't even. Her husband was a sex predator on a predator website. I looked up her name, did the background check, found that because she was going on and on about Lindy all these years and all that. Come to find out, he was a fucking pedophile. She's married to a pedophile. That's a convicted one. So I knocked her credibility down. You over here talking shit on Lindy? What you gonna say about Lindy? She ain't married to a fucking sex predator. That's the kind of stuff I did for years, Brenda. But I didn't fucking call her house. I didn't call her husband, sex predator, probation officer, and make up lies or anything, Brenda. I didn't do that to her. But I just told the world, hey, she's married to a convicted lifelong sex predator over there on that website. But she's over here talking shit on Lindy about some stupid fantasy life that she's made up over here.
You brought it on yourself.
I sure did, Brenda. I sure did a lot of that on myself. And y'all brought a lot of this on yourselves. And you need to accept that and understand that because this isn't going away. And every time bullshit like this happens, it makes me dig my heels in even deeper. Brenda, I'm as stubborn as y'all. But if y'all have to, if maybe y'all are ready to give your life for your freedom, maybe you are. But we're entering the final stage, finally, hopefully the 3-year mark. And whatever it's going to be, Brenda. So there's that.
Every right not to like Lindy because we listened to her talk.
If you listened to her talk and knew the proof that Corey showed, then everybody in these communities know that Lindy was a bullshit liar. And they just said, you know what? I like hanging out over there more than Corey. So I'm just going to go with the bullshit.
And she's a really shitty person, Ryan. Kind of like
But
you.
but I know you've been talking to her behind the scenes, Brenda. I remember the way you trolled me, and it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. So I'm just gonna listen. Some of this just picture me, Brenda. Here, picture me. I'm laying here. Look, picture me with my eyes just rolled back in my head, listening to some of this, okay? Because my mouth is dry and it's 4 in the morning, and I have to like get it together because I have to do everything to make sure my mother lives because she's not going to do it herself. So I have to do it and be the one to give her positive talk and say, maybe it happened for a reason, Mom, and it's not going to be that bad, and you can do this and do that and be healthier and live a cleaner life and stop smoking and yada, yada, yada. I said, maybe it's for a reason. You just got to have a positive, I have to do that now. Do I want to? Not particularly sometimes because she's brought a lot of pain on me. So it's kind of hard to be compassionate sometimes, but that's my mom.
I see you have another new friend. Maybe you can go do all of AJ's dirty work for her and be her best girlfriend.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, Ryan? I think AJ would really like that. And then you'll have a friend.
Ooh, that little baby laugh. That little baby laugh. That little giggle like a child. Why do women do that? Evidently because some men like to hear that while they're jacking off, I guess. I've always found that creepy when the women do that. I loved Anna Nicole Smith, but she always did that too. To men like, oh, daddy, and talk like, why do straight men like that? That's always seemed kind of like borderline incestual pervy. Like all that when women do that whole role play, like, oh, daddy, oh, I do that little baby voice and stuff. It's like, why would a man want so this woman think that's sexy to be doing talking like that? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm gay and I like men and men to. I just don't get that little. I wouldn't want to like a little. But you know what I'm saying? I always find it very odd that men like that kind of like stuff.
This because my new neighbor was now up until like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yapping on the phone. Can't do it downstairs. Has to do it in his bedroom while I'm sleeping in mine. What is with neighbors? There's like a rule. I don't know if you have this in the States, but we're supposed to be.
Brenda, you know what? For a moment there, I thought the neighbors. Let me tell you, I've done a background check on every one of my neighbors. I went on even the street behind me, houses down, background checks, Facebook, seeing if there's anybody connected to anybody that I would kind of know. Brenda, It's been over 1,000 days, girl. I put in the work. I have been consistent when it comes to what happened to me. So I'm telling you, because I even started to pin it on one. I've looked at angles. I've walked out and measured. I've how far away, what device. I'm Brenda. Let me tell you what. I am very curious. I just like to figure things out. It's one of the things. It's just
Quiet
one of those
between
things.
10 and 8 and not bother our neighbor. So if I want to get up and have a conversation in the middle of the 10 and 8, I go downstairs.
10 and 8, and I don't even understand, Brenda. See, this is what I'm talking about, the suicide trolling. Like my it just starts. I have built up from post-traumatic stress. I have built up this like mental barrier. Like when it starts going into like complex, like one of y'all do, my brain it just starts sounding like want want. My brain won't even try to process it because it's like, been there, done that.
To my downstairs. I don't do that shit in my bedroom unless they've kept me up for a while the night before. Over the past 10, 1 o'clock, that's a little bit late, I think, to be yakking and talking on your phone and laughing really loud. I mean, the guy has a great laugh, don't get me wrong. He's really good at everything else he does, but
Brenda, let me tell you a story. On the guy, I've lived here since, well, my mom's owned this home since 1992. The people on that side, he's lived there, they were here before us, and we're 92, so they had to be 90. You'd have to look on the property records. They have lived there that long. His mother was a teacher, and the dad worked for the Postal Service. They're black. And they've lived here that long because this area used to be very rednecky country. Because you got to figure that was 30 years ago. We had land everywhere. Rent was like $450 a month at place. It was just dirt cheap. It was a different time, and you know what I mean. So this was like just like a middle class area, like lower middle class. You know what I mean back then. Anyway, to make a long story short, I know those people. I grew up here and all that, and I thought I was like that window. You could hear, da, 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 da. I believe I've measured Brenda. I'm telling you because I know for a fact things were said that were only over the phone. And then I thought, Ryan, it's not, you know how I know it's not the neighbors, Brenda? Because two of those times I was in the car. And they were two times very early on when y'all were a lot more brave about what you said and what you did. So that's when I was like, it ain't the neighbors. It's not. And then I thought I was on the malware kick and the spyware and the hacking. And I was like, eh. And then I started to fix it after a while because I remember Mara down there when I brought that little red and black step stool. It looks like a little bench. Ain't gonna get into all that. And then that one time I was knocking and mom had the front door. I was locked and I was banging and pushing the doorbell and the camera's right there. I'm doing and I'm calling. And then she finally come. And then I go and sit in my bed, smoke some weed, 20 minutes, however long later. And Mara posts the link to the song, "Oh, we hear you knocking, but you can't come in." And then about that little table thing. So there's that. And she lied to the police. She lied to the police and sent them to my house and then watched them on my cam from information she was sent from someone, which I think is John Thompson and Linda Anderson. That's where I'm going to land, and that's where I started, and that's where I'm going to land. And I'm going with my gut for once.
I mean, some of us want to sleep once in a while. I mean, I don't have to work till later on. I don't got to get up at 5:30 this morning. But here I am. Could have been sleeping in, but, you get...
Do you work? Have you ever worked? Like, what is your history? Like, what do you do? Who pays your rent? Who pays your utilities? I did see you had some hydroponics there. Like, what do you do? Do you have a career? Did you go to college? What about you, Brenda? I want to know about you. Why are you in an apartment on the internet 24/7 having to socialize friendly with young men that are, basically half your age? I want to know about you. You wanted to know about me in my private life and be invasive in mine, Brenda. Well, I want to know about yours. I think I have every right to, don't I? Like, what makes you tick, Brenda? What's harmed you in life? We've heard your story. Anyway, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Woke up, you gotta wake up. Body wakes you up. It's all just annoying. And I'm the psycho. Okay, have a good day. Yes, Ryan, you're the psycho. You little crackhead.
Okay, don't do this.
You
I gotta get
used
this
to do a
over.
lot of crack back in the day, didn't you? Now you just smoke weed.
No, I used to, you know what I did? I did a lot of ecstasy, and then after the ecstasy, I merged on over to like pills. So, and I'd overdosed many. I was hooked on those Xanax, take like 30 Xanax. I mean, just unimaginable. And then when I would binge drink, that didn't work out in my favor, and my face would turn blue, and they have to bring me, and it happened over and over and over. And then finally, Brian, we end up getting up on those strong, like perk 30s, like 5, 6 at a time, mixing with Xanax, and then the alcohol, and he didn't wake up, and I barely did, and all the blood had all the fluids had filled up on this side of my body and everything, and I couldn't hear, and my ears were ringing, and I was just like dead, and I was like out of it for 3 days. Anyway, to make a long story short, my brain is damaged, and it was never good to begin with.
Yeah, I was just smoked weed. I did do a lot of like shots here and there every once in a while. Because I like dancing at the bar. So I'd go to the bar, do a bunch of shots real quick so I could stay on the dance floor instead of carry around a drink. You know what I mean? Then I would dance the night away. Go home before everybody else was like, "Ooh, it's after hours. You want to go do some rails?" No, thank you. Have fun. All right, Ryan. So yeah, you talked about Beth's crackhead kid, but I mean, you can talk about Beth's
Okay,
crackhead kid all you
and
want.
on that note, I win on that argument. Period.
Fine, I don't give a fuck about Beth's crackhead kid because Beth is a complete family of
Corey
going
went
to go
all
check
in
her
Heather
crackhead.
Duncan's background, pictures, Facebooks, everything, and Beth endorsed that. Beth endorsed it.
And I never was a crackhead, but Beth's crackhead kid definitely was a crackhead, right, Beth? Have you looked at Beth's page? I think Stewie's dating Beth.
No, I know you're trying to get me to go over there and look at her page. That was Brenda. Okay, I'm done listening to that because you're not going to do it to me, Brenda. See, when I know something now is affecting me in not a good way, this is what I do, Brenda. Look at this. Watch this. Oops. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Look, Brenda's out of my life. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So the game plan's over, Brenda. I want to know why. Why? Why? Why did I deserve that? You're going to kill me over a guy? Really? Oh, do you and Bridget share him? Like, does she get him 3 days a week and you get him two? I mean, he hangs over at Pox and all that over there with her all the time. Where are you at during those times? Oh, what's the deal? You just can't be. I mean, the only other person that acts as nutty about Stewie than me is you. So I just need to know. I just want to know the truth, Brenda. I want to know what I did to Beth Roche. I want to know what I did to Corey. I know what I did to Alex, but was Alex trolling me before 4-6? I think so. Do I know 100% no? But my gut tells me yes. So then 4-6, who cares about 4-6 then? If I was being trolled already, then what does it matter? What does it matter? That's what you get then. You went in the danger zone and you got burned, Alex. I felt bad about it. I apologized. I said you were never gay, and I meant that. It was not nothing like that ever. Uh, I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't think I deserve to be trolled. That's why I've never held that against him. Was I mad about it? Am I mad about it? Yeah. But I never I deserved it. Even for doxing people and being a bitch and all that over the years, I deserved something and I needed something like that, Brenda. But y'all went too far. You went too far. If I don't stand for defending my family, then my life doesn't mean anything to me. Because I've always been consistent on that. And I'm telling you, people are not going to suicide troll me with information they shouldn't have access to. And Corey Briggs had access to information she shouldn't have. And she needs to understand that doesn't in retrospect she see that was not probably the brightest thing to do. Do you understand, Corey? I never even talked. I mean, when we talked bad about you, Corey, me and Lindy, it was just stupid shit, mostly about that. I never dogged you. I never even really, we never just talked about like when me and you were, you know what I mean? Because there just wasn't much to it. There wasn't much to say. And I didn't even know she was Lindy when we started over there on on Twitter, and I was doing clipping all those periscopes. I'd left after I got docs in like 2015 or whenever. That's when I kind of like just left. I'd go peek and watch and stuff, but that's kind of just when I went over there. And then I found Jackie because we had the same interest, and then it ended up being Lindy. Of course, we had the same interest because both were talking about cat. You know. And it went from there. There was no malicious. It's like I didn't say, oh, let me go find Lindy so I can go get her to attack Corey. I didn't even know it was Lindy at first. Look how Alex trolled me. Lindy did the same thing to a certain extent. I'm kind of like, especially in the state I was in back then, I was easily persuadable. I am easily persuadable. It's because I'm on the spectrum. Anyway, Brenda, I'm gonna go. I have to get it together because I have to try to make my mom get through this because it ain't gonna be fun. And you know who it ain't gonna be fun for me? Because she's gonna be angry and she's gonna take it all out on me. So it's gonna be tough, and I have to help her because I don't want her to die. If they can save her, that hopefully everything happens for a reason, and I believe that, and I live by that, and I believe what you put out, you get back, and I've always got what I put out, Brenda, and I think y'all deserve a little bit of it back. You crossed boundaries that should have never been crossed. Everything could have been done to me with Alex and trolled me and all that without anything invasive. I was hurt. I was upset. I didn't even understand I had been trolled till a week later, Brenda. So I didn't, I mean, I put out, it was way after I even put out his little wiener pics. And I know, I remember people over there in Jake's, like them laughing because I'd had my screensaver as his ding dong. And that cactus guy or whatever it's calling, you know what I mean? Come on, I remember it all, Brenda. I remember it all. I hurt. I was humiliated. Like maybe Alex was. But if he was trolling me before 4-6, then oh well, he put himself in that danger. So I don't know that part for sure. I don't know. And I'll probably never know, Brenda. So anyway, I'm just gonna go. I'm tired, and I have today to rest, and Monday because it's a holiday, and then Tuesday I have to not worry about my health, not worry about anything about me. I have to call this doctor, get that referral, schedule this biopsy. It's gonna be all consuming, and it's gonna be miserable. But no one on this earth is gonna do it but me. Just like I had to physically almost drag her down there to get those teeth put in. She's got issues and she has phobias like my grandpa did about doctors and dentists and all that. It's not because we didn't have the money. She could have bought damn fucking implants when we had money when her first teeth started. It's just she has a thing about it. So I have to be the one to do. I had to drag her before this. Anyway, I'm gonna go, Brenda, because I can't. I can't. I know what happened. It looks bad for y'all. It hurt me, but in the end, it makes you look like a piece of shit. So there's that. I'll see you, Brenda, whenever I see you because I'm going to go on TikTok for the next 2 days and watch, and I'm not going to open the YouTube app whatsoever because I have to get my mind right. I don't expect anybody to care about me, care about my mom, or care about anything. I just want them to know it's not fair that y'all did that to me, and I didn't even get to try to defend myself over anything, and that I've got a fugitive felon that hates me now. I've got Corey Briggs that hates me. I've got Mara Bah that hates me, and Beth Roche that hates me, that can't even tell me what I did to her, all like fighting behind the scenes, and I'm out here crazy. You know what I mean? It's not fair. If I'm going to be crucified or judged or anything, I deserve the chance to defend myself, not by some cowardly people that can say whatever they want behind the scenes because I can't counter it. Brenda, it's not fair and it's not right. And the only reason y'all did it is because you thought you could get away with it. I want to know what I did to Corey to deserve this. Okay? Okay, Brenda. Tell Alex I said happy Sunday. Is he going to head over to Pasadena? I hope so. Have a great day, Brenda, and I'll see you in a couple days. I'm going to stay away from people that are trying to harm me emotionally. Bye, Canadian Predator, Brenda. Sweet friend. Bye-bye.